welcome back to another Polygel nail design set. These were and still are my favorite set so far for 2024. Like, look how beautiful they are. Like, everything was so perfect about these. The colors, like, look at the dragons, the hearts. Like, they was just so beautiful. I actually wore them longer than I usually do because they was just so cute. But okay, that's enough drooling over that set. Getting into how I created a set, starting out with this polygel. I did get this polygel from AliExpress. It is one of my favorite polygels. Okay, so let me do it like this. The polygel isn't sticky at all. Like, you will see me wipe my brush quite a few times, removing some of that alcohol out of my brush. It is very stiff though. It does require a little bit of pressure when moving it, but I personally like that. Being that it's not runny, so wherever you put it, regardless of the temperature of your room, wherever you put it is where it stays, and I absolutely love that about a polygel, allowing me more time to work. But now the thing with this polygel is they only have it in nudes, and which kind of sucks because the polygel is really nice. But they only come in nudes, and with the nudes they are a little bit on the sheer side. So I do tend to only kind of use these during spring and summer, during the hotter months, because the color is light and airy, and I just feel like they go better during the hotter months. But I will put it down in the description. But this is definitely a favorite of mine. They would be in my top overall, but the only reason they not is because they just nudes or whatnot. They don't have any color options. But I absolutely love this polygel. I believe I bought these like 5 different times, and they only had like 12 colors or something. But I believe I bought them a couple of times. I know for a fact 4 times, each shade 4 times. But okay, all right. So what I'm doing here is when I start my set, I said this in pretty much all of my videos, I don't have any idea what I want to do to the nail. I just kind of know what colors I want to use. And so all I pretty much was doing here was taking that nude, putting it on there, and then just kind of going with the flow. What I do try to do is when I do my nail beds is not repeat the same style I did from the set previous. And so, okay, for instance, if I do a slant here, my next set, the nail bed would be something a little different, just to give the nail a different feel or whatnot. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and slant that bad boy over to the side, which honestly, I think that's the part that take me the longest is the nail bed bead, because one, I don't know what I want to do with it. Two, trying to get my cuticle as clean as I can, but then just trying to figure out something. So that usually take the longest. Okay, this blue or teal is from Landfo. It's one of their older kits. I had to say farewell to this tube after this set. It had lasted me a long time. I definitely used this color in five that I know straight off the top, 5 different sets. And so it lasted me a long time, and I had to say farewell because it's gone. But all I'm doing here is just slanting. Every color I use, I'm just slanting it over. Not a whole lot to it. And also I am curing everything, every color individually, just like a little quick cure. So every time my hand go over to the left, it's me going into the lamp. Okay, while that's playing out, I do want to kind of shout out a few channels that kind of helped me out along the way. And the channels that I mentioned are channels that I have learned something from back in the beginning, and those things still stick with me today in my journey. And so I do want to kind of give those channels some shout outs. But with that being said, the channels that I don't mention, it's not that I didn't learn anything from them or I don't like their channels or anything like that, because I watch everybody that I come across on YouTube. It's just these ones here, it's just something about those videos that I had watched that stuck with me. So we're going to start out with Tammy Taylor. She taught me how to apply polygel. Like, she taught me how to start with that cuticle work around the cuticle, and then go from the center out, and then drag the polygel down. And so just her method of how to apply it stuck with me, because at the time when I first started learning, everybody was doing that whole 2B method, and I just didn't like that. It was too much work for me. And so when I came across hers and she was showing me how to do it with one big glob, is work around the cuticle, spread it out and spread it down, that just have always stuck with me. And so she taught me how to apply big beads of polygel. Okay, and then I have the Nail Hub and Christy Meekin. They taught me how to use forms. Now, for the Nail Hub is a whole video on the forms, how I apply them. But the thing with Christy Meekin's was the video that I was watching of hers. It wasn't a how to apply form video. It was something else, just one of her nail arts or whatnot. And she wasn't even talking about the nail forms. It was just something, when she had clipped the sides of the nail form, it clicked to me. And I can remember, and this was like 3 years ago, but I can remember me commenting on that video saying something along the lines, I know you wasn't talking about forms, but this video helped me understand how to customize forms. And so that was something that always stuck with me. And then Greg from Young Nails, he taught me filing and shaping. I know he have a YouTube, but I kind of watched his lives on Instagram, and that is where I kind of learned it from. But he helped me to understand the whole aspect, or fundamentals as he call it, for shaping and filing. And I have honestly seen a huge improvement from my sets before I started watching his videos to my sets after. And so if you're struggling with shaping and filing, I definitely suggest go watch his videos. And then we have Nails by Nelly. Now, again, like I said, all these videos was like 3 years ago when I had learned something from him. But her channel, her videos were, she taught me, and at the time she was the only person that was doing it, at least the only video I saw. But she taught me that you don't have to just use rhinestones for your nails. Like, you can use anything that you feel is cute and put it on the nails. She had did a video where she had some earrings, and she kind of clipped off the back ends of the earrings and put it on the nails. And it was like an eye opener for me. Like, oh my gosh, you can just use anything. And so big shout out to Nails by Nelly, because she gave me that courage to just put on whatever stones or charms or whatever it is that I want to use on my nails. So that was her. Okay, and then there was one other person. So I don't know who the creator is. I don't know her channel, if she have one, or her page. I just know I used to see her photos, her sets on Pinterest. And if you guys know anything about Pinterest, anybody can post your or add your sets to their wall. So I don't know who she is, but her sets always said 100% acrylic, and that's where I got the whole idea of my set's going to be created using only polygel. Like, her sets were very pretty, and it was just created out of acrylic, and that was an eye opener for me to ditch the polish and just go in with all polygel. So again, I don't know her name. I'm still trying to find her, but I don't know who she is. But that was like a big shout out. I'm sorry. That was like a door opener, eye opener for me when it comes down to this polygel and color blocking. But with that being said, I watch everybody videos that come across my feed on YouTube, and I definitely feel like I learned something from everybody's video. They, have amazing work. It's just things about those specific channels that I mentioned still help me today in my journey. Okay, now back to this video, because I know I was rambling. But this last little teal blue was from Morvan, and I had to say farewell to this one also. Every time I used the teal from Landfo, I used this glitter. They was just like a perfect match for each other. And that was the end of that tube too. So I know I had used this for at least 5 sets, and it lasted me for a long time. But that was that. Okay, so after I got all of the polygel on, I'm going to go ahead and remove those forms. I said this before. I love when I take that foam off because it's just something about seeing which colors did cure and which colors did not. But for the most part, it was just the glitter blue and the pink that didn't cure on the underside. Everything else kind of cured pretty well. But I'm going to clean it all up, put everything back where it needs to go, and then I cured them all. Now we're going to take some alcohol and wipe them things off. Now I go through a lot of alcohol. That little tube I use, I refill that thing every 3 sets. I have to refill it, and really only get through like every 2 sets. So on the third set, I start refilling it. But I use a lot of alcohol. But here's the nails. And for me, they were not that bad when it came down to filing, because I had some nails that are a lot thicker than this. But oh, I don't have any filing. At the time, I was only doing this set for Instagram, and so I didn't get any filing clips. But here, I'm just wiping them off again with alcohol, because after I finished filing and stuff, I came and got all my little accessories out. And so I know for a fact I probably touched my hair. I don't know. I just touched a bunch of stuff, and I just wanted to make sure all the dirt, oils, and grease was off the nails before I started the process. This was just like a up close of the stones that I used. The dragons, the gold hearts, and the neon hearts. You can see that one just did not want to work with me. But they all came from AliExpress. I get all of my nail charms from AliExpress. Here I'm just going to take some protein bond, and I'm just filling in those little holes, I guess. So a lot of times with the glitters, once I file, I am bound to get a little hole, because the little, glitter flakes or not, they come out when filing. And so I just wanted to make sure my nail was still even. So I took that little protein bond and just filled in any little areas that had little dips in it. Actually, you know what? I got that from Greg too. That is why I do that. I seen one of his videos that he said that I can use that when he was doing a gel video. And that's where that came from. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and top coat that pretty nail. Y'all, these nails was just so pretty. Like, and I always feel like cameras and videos don't do a set much justice, especially when you're using glitter. But they were so, so pretty. You can also see here like the sheerness of that nude color, because you can kind of see my free edge, my natural nail right up underneath of that. And so that is a downside to that polygel, but I will still continue to always use it. I'll just find some stone or something to hide it. Here I'm just wiping off that top coat. It did flood back in my cuticles a little bit, and so I was just wiping that extra off. I have said this a many of times, the small details matter. So if your top coat flood, take that little extra second and just clean it up. Like, I know as the days go by, it'll disappear, but when doing this set, I just feel like every little detail matter. And so if you see an issue, address it before you cure it. It makes the set come out a lot better. But okay, so these little gold hearts. They actually was like a pack of gold and silver. It was mixed like 10 and 10. I did go back and order a second bag just so I can have some. But after I put them all on, gave that a nice little cure. And then for the pointer finger, again, just going in with that top coat. After top coating the whole nail. And I know I'm just rambling on, y'all, but I do feel like I be swiping for a long time when I top coat. But that's because I usually see like a little fuzzy or something in there, and I be trying to get it out. So it just seems like I be swiping that top coat for a long time. But I'm just trying to get the little fuzzies and hairs out of it. But for the pointer and the pinky finger and the thumb, that little gold thing was it just did not want to be used. But I just put a little 3-piece heart on there, a gold one, a pink one, and then another gold one. And I did that for the pointer, pinky, and the thumb. Make sure I like the placement of it. And then yeah, that was pretty much all to that. And then I cured it. But you guys, thank you so much for taking this time out to watch my videos. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you guys know I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.